Hi, my name is Oscar Ward and I'm a Member of Youth Parliament for Reading, or was the Member of Youth Parliament for Reading until Monday the 17th of September. This is because I am stepping down as MYP for Reading for two reasons. One, because I'm 19, and two, because I'm moving to Sheffield for university on Saturday, and I can't very well represent young people of Reading if I'm in Sheffield. It's quite far away. So I thought I'd make this video to go over the things I aimed to do when I was elected and the things that I achieved once elected, and a few thank yous as well. So, to jump straight in, when I wanted to run to be an MYP back in February of 2017, I had two key things in my mind. One, give young people of Reading more of a voice, and that possibly included campaigning for Vote to 16. And number two was to make Reading Youth Cabinet, which is what it was called at the time, a much better place, more well known, and operate better. So once I was elected, I had from these two things, I had four key actions. Number one was to give Reading Youth Council proper and better social media, so improve connections. Number two was to restructure Reading Youth Council, make it more effective, and possibly rebrand it. Number three was to improve the campaigns element of Reading Youth Council. And number four was to make sure we did well and make your mark in 2017. So, with number one, we did achieve that. Reading Youth Council's new, much better connected social media networks, and they continue to grow. And through that, we've built better connections with decision makers and with the youth councils and charities. With the second thing, reforming Reading Youth Council, we have done that, which included the name change, cabinet to council. Reading Youth Council itself has, as a result, grown. We also introduced new positions, executives and officers. So, for example, officers can lead campaigns and focus specifically on campaign issues. So we have LGBTQ plus officer for LGBTQ plus issues, a mental health officer for mental health issues, transport, etc., etc. We also introduced executive positions, so Chancellor, Secretary, Chair, and we introduced a written up constitution to go along with this, to keep the Youth Council more organised and thus run more effectively. Leading on from the officers' side of things, going into the campaigns, which is the third thing. In the past, Reading Youth Council's campaigns they'd achieve some things, but they wouldn't achieve as much as they probably could. And that's partly because there wasn't always a clear person sort of in charge, or clear people in charge, and they'd stop after a year, and there was always only two or three. So we've changed the system so there are multiple campaigns. They have a clear leader, which is the officer, and they don't have to stop each year. They can continue running, just change and alter, depending on the officer and depending on what's needed to be done. The final action was Make Your Mark. Through social media and contacting schools, we made Make Your Mark in Reading bigger than it ever has been before, and expanded it into West Berkshire and Wokingham. As a result, Reading did really well. We got over 8,000 young people voting, which was a record turnout for us, and also put us 8th place nationally for voter turnout, so that's really good. And this year we're hoping to do even better. So overall, I believe I can leave this position proud that I achieved the things I set out to do, and even a bit more from that. Before I end this video, I'd like to thank a few people. First of all, I'd like to thank Reading Borough Council for our funding and for helping run the Youth Council, and in particular the youth workers, so David, who was there for my first year as an MYP, and then Adam, who came on after when David left. Those two youth workers have been great, and we wouldn't be able to do it without them, and also other youth workers outside those two. The youth workers in the youth service are very important. They do a lot of work and don't always get the recognition, so they do deserve the recognition, and they were great help for me. I'd also like to thank the borough councillors in Reading. In particular, I want to thank Ellie Emberson, who was only elected this year. She was an MYP before me for Reading, and she's been not just an inspiration, but a great help for me. in my role and sort of helping me, and so I know what to do, and also being a great ally of the Youth Council. I'd also like to thank Reading's two MPs, Matt Rodder, Reading East, Alex Sharma, Reading West. They've both been a great help, and despite their busy schedules, they were able to spend time with us and put time aside to meet with me and listen to our concerns as a youth council and my concerns as MYP. I did enjoy those meetings, and they've been very helpful. And I really thank those two MPs for being involved and for taking a genuine interest in the Youth Council. And I'd like to extend that also to the MP for West Berkshire, Richard Benyon, who met with me on an occasion to discuss a number of issues, including PSHE, which was really productive. I'd also like to thank fellow members of Youth Parliament. Members of Youth Parliament that I know are a great inspiration. They were supportive for me, I'd like to thank them for that. And they do great work up and down the country. I'd also like to thank, as an extension of that, the UK Youth Parliament and British Youth Council, who of course run the whole operation, and all the staff that work there. And I'd also like to thank my youth council, Reading Youth Council. Reading Youth Council, which is what I was originally elected into, has been really supportive while I was in NYP. It's been a really good time being a youth councillor, and my 2-year term ends as a youth councillor anyway in December. Reading Youth Council is great, very supportive, does lots of great work, and I'm sure that it will continue to do great work even after I and others have left. It's really grown in the last year, despite staffing issues and funding issues at the beginning of the year, which is great, and it definitely has a bright future ahead. The final group of people I want to thank is all of you, my constituents, whether I know you personally or not. You, the ones who have been there to support me and have been there by me during this almost 2 years, my almost 2 years as an NYP. I hope that in some ways I've raised your concerns, and I'm sure I haven't raised all of them, but my successor, who I have a lot of confidence in, Zara, I'm sure she'll be listening to you. We are elected here to represent you, the young people of Reading, so we are accountable to you. So if you have concerns, do raise them, and I hope that I listened enough that satisfied you and that I was some sort of help. One of the best parts of being an NYP was visiting schools and visiting youth centres especially, and just talking to young people in general. And so yeah, that's all the thank yous really. It's been an honour to serve as an NYP. Youth Parliament is an amazing group, and if you want to get involved, I do recommend you get involved. If you're a young person in Reading and you want to join the Youth Council, then do sign up to join. It is a great opportunity. So yeah, it will also be sad to be leaving Reading, but I will come back to visit the Youth Council, and I'll also be seeing other friends in Youth Parliament. But I'll keep in touch with the Youth Council. And I think that's everything I wanted to cover.